Good morning, everyone. I hope you are having a nice week. I hope that wherever you are, you're getting to enjoy some nice spring weather. It's been warm and sunny here in North Carolina. Allergy season has been terrible. If you've seen the pollen apocalypse pictures that went around, I think about 2 weeks ago, it's really been that bad. And if you haven't seen it, go look it up because it's pretty crazy um, how how bad the pollen has been this season, but they did warn us in advance that it was going to be this bad. So I hope that you all are having a good week. I have just a few things I want to talk to you about today. I have 5 things. I want to keep this video to under 5 minutes. So I want to talk to you about email, the gradebook, privacy settings, supporting your reasoning, and thesis statements. So here we go. Email. Please make sure you are checking your SCCAN's school email address. If I send you an email via Blackboard, it goes to your school email address. If one of your classmates sends you an email via Blackboard, it goes to your school email address. So please make sure that you're keeping an eye there. If I'm reaching out to you, it probably means there's an issue, and I want to make sure we take care of any problems right away. So if you're not sure how to get into your school email address, let's chat and let's figure it out. And so just keep an eye out there. There's an assignment coming up in Unit 5 and 6 where you will be doing a peer critique. And the easiest way to get in touch with each other in class is sending an email via Blackboard, and your partner may try to reach you that way. And so you want to make sure you're able to get in touch with them. So that's my plug for email. If you're not checking your school email, please make sure you do. Topic 2, grades. The gradebook is up to date, and fortunately this morning there's still been a few technology issues pop up once in a while, but at this point I have heard from everybody. If at any point this class I say the gradebook is up to date and you log in and see that, oh, actually you don't have a grade for something, it probably means there was a technology problem. So again, check your email because I will always email you when that happens. I won't just leave you hanging. But this leads me to my third point. Please make sure to always review the privacy settings when you're submitting an assignment. We're getting to the point, if you're uploading videos to YouTube, it's just a pretty easy toggle switch. You make it, you can make it unlisted or you can make it public, whichever one. Do not make your videos private, please. I won't be able to view it. But unlisted or public is fine. If you're uploading the file directly, which I would discourage you from doing because it's very big files on Blackboard, take a long time to download back so that I can view them. If you're using OneDrive, just make sure all the privacy settings are set to where I can view it, and importantly, your classmates can view it as well. Again, we have a peer review assignment coming up in Unit 5, and if your partner can't view your speech, it's going to be a problem, and the onus is on you and not them to make sure that that those settings are all correct. So those are the first 3. Those are sort of like technology topics. I want to get into a couple of trends that I've seen as I've been grading these last couple weeks. The first thing I want to talk about is supporting your reasoning. When you guys are submitting written assignments, you're doing such a good job applying what you've learned and what you've read and thinking about these speeches that you're viewing critically. And just your responses are really good. Where you're losing points, and I say you, this is broad, right? Points are being lost because you're not supporting your argument with references. And the really obvious and easy reference to use is the textbook, but you are welcome to use any of the reading that we have each assignment, each week. You're welcome to go out, do your own research if you feel inspired to, and find your own source to support your argument. But you're giving, really good recommendations on, why a speaker is doing something well, or why a speaker needs to improve a certain area. And your responses are typically, it's subjective, but you're on the right path, and you just need to provide some support from these professionals out here who are writing these texts and articles and things for you. So make sure you cite them properly. You don't need to, you don't need to go overboard, but you should provide some support from external materials as well. That is true throughout any of your written assignments, discussion board posts, the speech critiques that you've been doing. So that's topic one. The speech assignments that you've been submitting, the second thing I want to talk about is thesis statements, and this comes into play in your speeches. Your speeches are overall just very good, and I hope that you are taking the time to listen to some of the speeches from your peers, because you all are talking, you come up with such interesting topics, and I always really enjoy listening to the research that you've done, and I hear about things that are important to you, and so it's just overall really fun. It's fun to get to know your classmates in that way. You will hear me start really driving home thesis statements. If you are not sure what a thesis statement is, if you do not know how to implement a thesis statement into your speech, please let me know and let's work on it. It is the foundation for your speech. I see more points lost, and every time I've taught speech classes, it's always the thesis statement, because it really does, it's the foundation for the arrangement of your speech and making sure things are outlined in an organized and logical way, and as you move through your speech, your audience can keep up with, oh, okay, I know where we are because they told me at the beginning, this was the second point. It keeps you from meandering around and not really being clear what you're talking about. A thesis statement is so important. It's not a perfect example, but I did try to do that a little bit at the beginning when I told you today I had 5 things to talk about. I gave you a preview of what they were going to be, and we moved through them in that order. So it's not perfect because this is not a formal speech. It's a little bit more conversational, but you should be doing something similar to that in your speeches. It will really help strengthen your speeches, and just by having a thesis statement, you earn back these points in your speech that otherwise you really lose out on. So those are my 5 things today. I did not keep this as short as I wanted to, so I'm going to wrap up. Please reach out to me if you have any questions. Again, I'm happy to review speeches. I'm happy to review thesis statements with you before you get too far into your speeches and just help you make sure you're on the right track. So I hope you all have a really nice weekend, and I'll see you in the discussion boards this week. Thanks.